Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. This is the case of the Idaho. This is all my thoughts, my speculations, and my opinions only. I like to start by saying trigger warning because this subject is a bit vulnerable. But once again, these are just theories and speculations. Today I'd like to talk about Wesley Reebok from the Sigma Chi fraternity is interview. I found it to be very interesting. Wesley Reebok says that he wasn't really good friends with Ethan. He said there were some incidents that took place that Ethan was involved in that many people did not seem to like of Ethan. He wasn't very fond of Ethan. When we was asked to mention any incident, he chose to mention an incident that I found really sus. An incident that the other fraternity brothers have mentioned in their interview too. Let's pay attention to what he says. He thought that Ethan was very cocky.
In the apartment and drank together and whatnot, but...
So, did you not like him because you thought he was cocky?
I wouldn't say I didn't like him. I just didn't get along with him as well at first.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What sorts of things would he say or do that made you not really get along with him? Do you remember some incident?
I wouldn't say I didn't get I wouldn't say we didn't get along. It's just we weren't like... Not really sure how to answer that. Like, I don't know. I'm just not super close to him, so I don't really...
Well, people are drawn to different people depending on their personalities, and everybody's different. And,
right.
Your group of friends generally are people that are sort of like you, and so I'm just trying to figure out what about him, rubbed you the wrong way.
I guess he was a little loud at first, and there was just a couple like little incidents where people got a little mad at him over it, and then over time he kind of chilled out and never caused any problems.
What were the incidents where people got mad at him?
It was an incident where it was parents' weekend, and I guess this is like one of...
Is this the picture with the mom?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about that.
Don't know a ton about it, but there's just someone, I don't know who took the picture or anything. There's just him like propped up with his leg, like, and someone's mom was laying on the couch, and he was just kind of looked a little dirty, I guess.
So how'd that go? Did somebody say something right away, or did they like pull him aside and talk to him after the fact, or who confronted him?
I think it was a different member that someone showed all the pictures, and then one guy saw it, and then he showed that guy's whose like mom it was, and then I think he probably confronted him, and he was really angry about that. I remember. Never like physically angry, but he was like yelling.
Who was that?
That would have been me. He's our... Pretty sure it was her. Yeah. this was quite a long time ago. This is pretty soon after I first met him, I think.
So did that affect your opinion of him, or?
For a little bit. Everyone was kind of a little angry at him for it, but after a while, everyone kind of forgot about it, and it wasn't a big deal.
Okay, you said there was a couple of incidents. Besides that one, what was the other one?
I said, I don't think there's any other incidents. It's the only one I can really think of.
So Ethan Chapin propped his legs up on the sofa where one of the fraternity or college boys' mother was lying down on the same sofa. You heard clearly what Wesley Rebuck said. He said that it looked very dirty. So where could Ethan have had his legs on? Trigger warning is my question. So this was definitely behavior that was very unprofessional. But young boys at this age could do anything for attention or may not be mindful when they're doing things. So this young man, whose mother was laying on the sofa, heard and saw pictures of his mother laying on the sofa and Ethan propped up on the sofa, which looked very dirty. Now, what is interesting is that the police showed this little kid the picture of the mother that laid on the sofa. And he said, yes, it was her. For the police to have had the picture clear and ready for this interview, and I've been asking the other fraternities about this parents' meeting, must be quite serious, I believe. Now, what is interesting is that he says that boy whose mother was laying on the sofa was really upset and he was yelling at Ethan. Let's not forget, somebody took pictures of the position Ethan was propped up on the sofa and definitely thought it was that it didn't look right. So the person who took the picture, the frat brother, was showing it around and he showed it to the boy's mother. Now when he was asked, what is the boy's name whose mother was laying on the sofa near Ethan? He said, Ethan's mom. The guy is Ethan and it was his mom. So it's not Ethan Chapin. It's a guy called Ethan.
That guy is whose mom it was, and then I think he probably confronted him, and he was really angry about that. I remember, never physically angry, but he was yelling.
Who was that?
That would have been the he's our pretty sure it was her. Yeah.
When the kid was asked in the interview, who was that? Oh, that would have been Ethan's mom. I've been checking all the Sigma Chi fraternity boys' name, and I can't remember coming across anyone called Ethan at Sigma Chi fraternity, except for Ethan Chapin. So it made me think of someone. I wonder if it was another fraternity member, his mother, who was called Ethan. We all remember Banfield. The Banfield boys. And you all may remember the story of Ethan Knight, the guy in the middle. All these three boys are from Alpha Kappa Lambda. You have Peter Reagan on the left with the hoodie and a big bump on his forehead. You have Ethan Knight in the middle with the night goggles or glasses on. I really believe he has bruises. He has a black eye because there's a period he looks down, and I've showed you all in my old videos that I used to analyze of the Banfield and the grub truck people. His name is Ethan Knight. Ethan Knight was under probation for unaliving his father. He unalived his father and the family dog in self-defense, allegedly. The prosecutor did not believe him. The prosecutor wanted to try him in court, saying that he did it deliberately, on purpose. His mother bailed him out for $25,000. So he was actually on bail. So this is Ethan Knight. And from the very beginning of this case, I've always said, when I first exposed the pictures Saeed was watching on Banfield, this is like 2.5 years, 3 years ago, in the beginning of this case, and then it started going viral on YouTube and TikTok, and we've been seeing it everywhere. When I first exposed those pictures on the Banfield, if you go back to all the clips of the Banfield I've made, I've always said that I believe that the Banfield boys were involved, and I believe that the Banfield boys came from 1122 King Road. They didn't even know where they were coming from. How could you forget where you just came from? When they were asked by the police while they were standing inside Banfield, the cops asked them, where did you come from? They said, we just came from a party somewhere there. They pointed towards 1122 King Road. And then the officer asks them once again, whose party was it? The first one says, I don't know. The second one says, I think it was some guy called Matt's party. So I always believed that they were lying about where they came from. They were running towards the field when the police stopped them, and I believe that they were throwing weapons inside the field, in my opinion. And then you have Saeed running after them, and I've always said that I believe Saeed was distracting the cops so that these three young men could hide the weapons. That was just all in my opinion. But now, when I hear the story about Ethan and the other Ethan's mother, that Ethan propped his legs on the sofa where the mother was lying, and if that mother's son, his name was Ethan, I don't see any Ethan besides Ethan Chapin in Sigma Chi. Could it have been this Ethan? And could that be the reason why Ethan Chapin's legs were carved? Could it be somebody trying to send a point? Did they carve Ethan's leg to get Ethan back for that? And at the same time, we know that Ethan and Zana had a fight with the Davids at the Sigma Chi. So could the Sigma Chi boys and Alpha Kappa Lambda boys have had personal beef with Ethan and Zana is my question. I showed you Peter Reagan, the guy with the hoodie, has a large bump on his forehead. You have Ethan Knight in the middle, covering himself with those night goggles or glasses. You have Taylor Parker, the treasurer president of Alpha Kappa Lambda, looking into the bushes. I wonder if he's looking at this thing in the bushes. What kind of weapon is this? So my question is, was it Ethan Knight's mom that the police were talking about? Did they carve Ethan Chapin's legs to prove a point, like maybe don't mess with my mother or don't mess with people's mothers? It could have been just something innocent that these young men took too far. But Percy believed that Ethan Chapin made a couple of enemies. I heard Conrad saying that Ethan was cocky in the beginning when he got to know him. So does Wesley, the young man who was just talking in the interview. Wesley Reed, is that his name? Said the same thing. He said that Ethan was cocky. Did they all gang up on Ethan? And Peter mentions talking to Ethan at the Betty Ball party, and Ethan told Peter that he was fed up of Zana because Zana was getting too much attention from young men, allegedly. I don't believe Ethan would have told Peter that, because Peter was Ethan's girlfriend's ex. Peter dated Zana. And there's pictures of both of them kissing Zana on the cheek at the same time. Do y'all remember what Ethan's mother said? Ethan Chapin's mother? There was no love triangle, or there was no rugs. Was that the rumors that were going on in the beginning? Was Peter Allegoria part of a love triangle with Ethan and Zana? Just a question. Why would a mother mention that? But let me know what you'll think of Ethan he propped his legs on the sofa where the Frat, his mother, was lying. And the young man in the interview said that it looked dirty. How dirty did it look? Is that the motive that they targeted Ethan for? One of the motives? Did Ethan Knight come to prove a point is my question. And look at Peter Reagan on the left, his forehead. Who did he fight with? Ethan Knight. Interesting. Could you be the young man that his mother was laying on the sofa? Did you come for revenge? And look at Taylor's face. He's got bruises on his eyes too. Look at this one's forehead. All of these three boys came from a fight. Did you come from 1122 King Road? I've seen Ethan with the exact same jumper as Peter Reagan, the hoodie jumper, the pink one. Did they take Ethan's clothes as a trophy? Could that have been possible? This is all my thoughts and speculations. I'm not saying it was Ethan Knight's mom, but I believe it could have been, because there's no other Ethan at the Sigma Chi besides Ethan Chapin. And why do these three men look so bruised? This one has his head dent in, and this one has his nose broken, I think. What is actually going on here? If it was Ethan's mom that the story was involved about, don't forget, this man just unalived his father. He could have a lot of anger issues. Let me know what you'll think. Please like, share, and subscribe. This is only my thoughts, speculations, and theories.